What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch in the Rube, our Friday afternoon show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. They've redone the app. It is great. And if you haven't checked it out, it's a great time to download it. Heading into football season, got our over-unders. We had that on Wednesday's show. You can listen back to that. U.S. Open tennis, Premier League soccer, Tigers, whatever you fancy. It's there for you on the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Jason, how you doing, brother? I mean, I felt all of Fred Human.
That's the taint.
What's up, buddy?
How are you, man?
That's the taint.
I love that Couch comes in, strolls in, 25 minutes late as usual, and he comes in, he goes, by the way, a lot of people have been asking about the taint clip. Like, I hadn't had that cut since fucking the show was over on Wednesday. Are you kidding me, Windsor?
That's the taint.
That's the taint.
Sean
I
Windsor.
appreciate you covering all the bases for our Couch in the Rube program. But I had that cut, dude. Come on.
I'm glad
That's the taint.
Glad to be here. I think it's going to be a fun show. We are going to dig into your groovy
Glad
donut.
you're good to be here.
Groovy donut Twitter questions. Yeah. Hey,
It's touch and go with you sometimes.
I got a big column coming up. It's going to be tight.
we have new deadlines.
I'm like, please do not cut anybody's Twitter questions today.
We have new deadlines at the LSJ, which create some challenges sometimes. So
a shakeup, if you will.
I don't know about a shakeup, but basically the column had to be filed. This show is not at an opportune time for my work schedule all the time, and
we can change it. What time you want to do it?
No, I like the time. I'm just saying
10 p.m. We can do that.
We did that once, but anyway, and I have to have certain things done before I come in here, and sometimes it takes what it takes,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not the fastest.
I know,
writer in the
because
world.
usually you're on time.
Correct.
Because this is an aberration.
Yes,
this is a one-off.
Thank you. As long as we understand that.
That's the taint.
All right. Before we dig into these groovy donut Twitter questions, are you betting anything this weekend?
More importantly than what I'm betting, I just found out the other day. I thought John Daly was not coming. The Allied Challenge is this weekend. Now I'm going to live tomorrow, but I was thinking about shooting up there Sunday because it's a no-cut, the old-timers event up there in Warwick Hills. Great golf course up there. I'm thinking about shooting up there. Here's the question. Do I try the chocolate milk thing again?
You have to. You need a better result.
And record it. Maybe the TikTok. Maybe that'll have the TikTok take off because I got to say, I'm a little short on patience with the TikTok. So I don't know if this show is going to still do it.
Stay with the TikTok?
I just hate it. I don't know. I just despise the app.
We shouldn't do it. We shouldn't do anything we don't like.
I understand. Yeah, but if people enjoy it, it brings people into the show. We're trying to bring people into the show that normally don't listen. So I'm trying to do other things, even if you don't really like them.
We have plenty of people. I don't know why we have all these people, but we have them. If you don't like the TikTok, we shouldn't do the TikTok.
I understand, but I'm just trying to branch out. Someone said, hey, because you never know if something takes off. And
True.
Anyway. So this Sunday, I don't know. So I'm going to live tomorrow. So I'm not going to really gamble on anything I can't view on my television. So
I will say this. I think you should try the bit again with John Daly where you ask him how much chocolate milk he's had.
But then I'm going to have a phone. And it's going to be really bad.
But here's the thing. It's not like if it goes well, you will feel better about yourself for the rest of your life.
How could it go well, though?
If he gives you a thumbs up.
That's not well.
Or says...
I saw him crushing a chocolate milk with. I know this was a young kid, but I really. That's how I envisioned it would go.
What if he shares the chocolate milk with you?
Dude, I would probably pass out.
There you go.
Right then and
that's
there.
going
to fall over.
But if it goes,
life.
if it goes poorly, it already went poorly. It can't get any worse.
I shouldn't be around celebrities. We've gone over this, I don't. I'm really I have a lot of trepidation with it because I don't want to ruin. I don't have a relationship with John Daly, but I mean, there's a possibility it could go worse, though.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
There's a small possibility it goes better. But there's a gigantic possibility it goes worse.
Most likely it goes worse.
Because at least his caddy, he's like, oh, yeah, he actually had a 14. So he saved me a little bit of all of that anguish. But anyway, all
I'm-
right. So I'll let you know on Monday.
I'm looking forward to that. I am. That is a story, by the way. If you do it, it'll be worth telling. Presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company. So I hope you do, because I would love to have that story on Monday.
So what is this soccer bet? Harry kept updating me on some soccer bet yesterday. Did you guys lose or Sedona or something?
Oh, I don't.
He's
That was
texting me.
different than what I had.
Okay.
What I have this weekend.
Like Harry, come on, man.
I think there's a good two-leg favorite part. There's some other. I'm still getting my feet wet with the Premier League. Like, there's some things I like, but I don't want to go. They're more leans. I mean, I like Bournemouth at home against Wolverhampton, right? Minus 130. I like some of these things, but what I really like is Man City in a parlay with Arsenal. Man City minus 185 or minus
Not
190.
the taint.
Minus 195. Arsenal minus 375. Arsenal at home against Leeds. Man City at home against Tottenham. Parlay them together. It's about even money. That I like.
You're just leaning that way, though.
No, that one I'm giving.
you.
That one I'm
Okay.
giving. Leaning on some others, but I feel good about that. That one I'm the under on Nottingham Forest, Palace maybe a little bit. I don't know. There's a lot of them I just getting a feel for. Don't love this weekend, but that is what I'm betting this weekend. Presented by our friends at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. Are you ready to dig into these?
So what you're saying is it could go either way?
Could go either way.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Eric Schultz up first. Did you find out whether or not Jason Strayhorn was fired because of the Nick Marsh thing?
My understanding, and I have talked to some people about this.
Isn't he still doing that podcast?
Yes.
It's the Sparta.
Yeah,
I'm the
yeah.
Sparta. Or
Yeah, it had nothing to do with Nick Marsh. It had nothing to do with Nick Marsh. And I can't. The things I know, I haven't really confirmed, and so I don't want to. And it's nothing like.
Can you tell me and I'll blurt it out?
From what I know, and again, I haven't confirmed this. It's not that bad, and I don't even know if it's fully justified. We'll have to see. But it's. I think it was an annual contract, so they are within their rights to a certain degree. I think, but.
So no firing.
But, well, no. It's still, if you let somebody go after 19 years, that's what it is, right?
Oh.
You're not just.
Well, you can paint that as someone just wanted to move on, be with their family.
The idea that he was recruiting Nick Marsh to Michigan, from my understanding, has nothing to do with any of this. It is absolutely just false. Yeah.
Next one from Eric Schultz. You always used to say that Dantonio would be remembered positively once we got further from his era. Yet for me, the fact that he refused to adapt and retired at a time that screwed over the program are still the front of mind when I think of that era. Do you think I'm in the minority there?
No, I think people feel a lot of different ways about Mark Dantonio. And I've talked about how I thought he would age well, and I think he will age well, especially if the program. So it's there are two ways to look at this. If the program's struggling, there's sort of an appreciation for that he did it at all and how long he did it. But he's part of the reason the program's struggling today still. He was part of a transition that didn't go well. And so I think, as I look at it now, I kind of think that the appreciation for him will be more once the program gets on its feet again. I mean, I do wonder, people are older.
Is that all on him about the transition, though?
Well,
I mean, a little bit of it, yeah.
If he had left after 2017, I think things go a lot better. I think the program was on better footing. They would have left after a 10-3 season. He would have been thought of sticking around for 18 and 19. When they just didn't have the offense. Now there are reasons, like 18, you get the Lewerke injury, and the defense was still elite. So there were parts of the program that still had remnants of greatness. But then and then the pandemic that would have gone horribly if he'd still been there. Like if he had stuck around and not left the second he did. If he leaves a little earlier that year, they get a different coach. Is it better than Mel Tucker? Mel Tucker still produced 2021. Would have MSU been more ready for NIL? I mean, there are a lot of things to think about in that sense. I do think if the program gets itself in a good place where people feel good about it again, that what Dantonio did will be more and more appreciated. But I do wonder for older people, like when you look at Dantonio versus Perlis, and Dantonio won bigger than Perlis. But there are similarities in the sense that Perlis had this, they built the program. They have 87 through 90, and then it sort of falls apart, and he's the AD, and not everybody loves that, and there's a lot of and so Dantonio is better than Perlis in the hierarchy of Michigan State football coaches. But in other words, it rarely ends well, and I wonder how people have been around a long time think about those two guys. I think the program needs to get better for people to feel better about it.
Maybe next. Is this the best week of the year for MSU fans? It feels like we've been waiting 14 months to hope again.
It's a long wait. in football. It really is, man. Like we deal with this in the NFL. You know,
try doing a show 2 days a week, or 3 days, whatever we do. Hearing it constantly, I'm like, oh my God, I can't talk about Jonathan Smith.
It's a short season. Like in soccer, you know, in the Premier League, you get nine months straight. In football, it's this 4-month sprint, and then you got to wait. You get a bad injury, a season goes badly, you essentially have to wait 11 months to live again. Think about being in the South where they got nothing else to live for. Things go wrong. It's just
drink
brutal. But
Graham Couch drinking game. Drink. What would you tell the people in the South if you were recruiting down?
Move north. Yeah. What are you doing? I have no sympathy for you. But I do think it's the beginning of football season is always
the best,
as good as it gets. It just is. Yeah, it's just fun.
Anything could happen.
And the football season is scarce enough, even though the Super Bowl drags out till February and it's essentially 6 months. But there's enough scarcity still of product, even though they sort of play every night of the week, I guess now, that you really are looking forward to it at levels that I don't think it doesn't exist in the NBA. In the middle of football season, the NBA's barely been gone. It comes back October. I like the NBA early, but I'm not like sweet opening night.
Regular season NBA.
Yeah.
I used to.
I usually realize it's opening night of the NBA sometime around 3 hours before tip-off. The NFL we've all known for a long time, and it's awesome.
Next one for maybe last MSU tailgate was a Subway footlong. What? Where should I go before or after the game Friday night? I don't think I'll have time to hit up Groovy Donuts before. Footlong?
So you can
that was the tailgate you were at? That they only had a footlong, or we're talking table for one here at Subway?
Yeah. So in other words, it was just
pound the bushes.
Not a real tailgate. Just
Okay, on her own. She
didn't have a lot of time.
Swung through a Subway.
Didn't have a lot of time. Got to get to the game.
No Jersey Mike's or Jersey Giant?
Front 43 and Caskin Company's real near there. It's not,
Wow, that's an obvious.
Yeah.
She brought up Subway.
Yeah. And I'll say this. Groovy Donuts, obviously, is only open till 1 p.m. on Friday on game day. But this week, they have the pineapple upside-down cake donut, which I had on Thursday. Yeah. No, we swung by the Williamson one, my wife and I.
She had the wife show.
Oh,
so you had to actually eat it.
No, we each had, yeah. No, she saw me eat it. She knew I was eating. She bought the donut for me. We were there. Yeah, she saw me eat it. Yeah.
She's making sure just one goes down.
But I'm telling you, I looked at it. I said, it looked enticing. I didn't know about it, and it's just amazing how well they do everything. Because on its face, that's not the donut I would necessarily choose. It's now one of my favorite donuts. I hope they keep doing it more often. The pineapple upside down cake donut available this weekend at Groovy Donuts, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thursday through Sunday, Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing, and also in Williamson. So if you're around, if you can make it part of your weekend, make it part of your tailgate. If you're coming in early for a tailgate, they're still open. You're coming in from the east side, swing by the Williamson one, right? Go to East Lansing's open. It's just make it part of your weekend, your college football, your tailgate. It'll improve your tailgate. It'll improve your weekend. It'll bring joy to your life, including the pineapple upside down cake at Groovy Donuts. You can also order ahead of time, which I would recommend if you're doing a big tailgate thing at groovydonuts.com.
I just like that she said last tailgate was Subway. What recommendation? Anything? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean,
Jesus.
Get yourself Subway. Gas stations where they have those things that roll around on the on the little rollers when you go into a gas station. Get some of that
for hot dogs.
Yeah, it's not the hot dogs. It's more the stuff with the cheese in it that I sometimes have.
Yeah. Shit your pants during the game.
I got an iron stomach. I'm okay.
Pablo Ciccone, bazooka to the head.
Bazooka time.
Who lands the first massive deal for Spartan Stadium's naming rights? Auto owners came to mind, being local. General Motors, or will it be a bank? It'll be a bank. It's always a bank. Dumb. What would you choose that could just be fun? And from Richard Kane, how much do you think show contributors would contribute to a GoFundMe to get MSU to call it Couch in the Roof Field at Spartan Stadium?
About $7. No, I'm kidding. You guys do a great job of supporting our sponsors. So if
we know Couch says you can't do anything with $5 a month, so it's got to be more than that.
Yeah, and certainly not an LSJ subscription. If everybody gave up their LSJ subscriptions who listens and does it,
deal.
Not
done. F you guys.
Could we get a little sign in the corner?
Jesus.
So who will be the
Cure Auto Insurance?
It can't be Cure.
Oh no.
Oh my God.
You still haven't sent me that article, by the way.
Oh, Can't be cured. Can't be cured. Let's. Obviously, Groovy Donuts would be amazing. Midtown Brewing Company, all those. Be a good choice. Groovy Donuts would just have so many. I don't know if
it was a live read. You had to say the whole thing before the stadium. Jesus.
But can you imagine just the fun you could have, the fan experience if Groovy Donuts could pull that off? What would make? Around here, you have to think it's going to be. It doesn't have to be a bank, but it's got to be a big corporation, hopefully that's Michigan-based to some degree. Maybe it's
Rocket Mortgage.
Yeah, it's going to be a fight between it'll be Rocket Mortgage or
United Wholesale.
Maybe I think somebody suggested on here might be a battle to the death between the two of them to see who gets it. It'll be something like that. Maybe GM or somebody steps up and does it. That would be cool being right around here.
Richard Kane, if Indiana can get $50 million for its stadium, how much can MSU get?
I'm guessing it's in the ballpark. These are pretty new, cutting-edge things. That's maybe there's more to be done there. But
what does $50 million get you?
Well, and it's not immediate. It's like over time and how it's paid and what. But if $50 million can in your athletic department, it can save programs. It can boost your funds. Every year you've got to make sure you have enough, not just to fund your athletic program, but to pay athletes $20 million. And that's an annual, obligation to compete at the level they want to compete at. $15 million of that going to football. So I think you got to do it at this point. Spartan Stadium, people can still call it Spartan Stadium if they want to, but at this point it's almost negligent not to seek this out. Alan Haller talked about it at least a year ago, maybe 2 years ago, about the idea that this was coming down the pike. I think when you look at Jay Batt's track record, I would be very surprised if he's not working to get them the best deal for things like this. And not everybody's going to love it, but if you want to win today and you want to have every program you have, I think you got to do it.
Pound the bushes.
Pablo, anticipation is building immensely. Fans are ready for football again. What would both of you have to see in MSU's first 3 games to believe the Spartans can significantly exceed expectations this year?
What do you need to see?
Well, like we always say, just this team can't get pushed around in those first 3 games. They control those 3 games, and obviously they have to win those 3 games. But like we always say, just can't get pushed around. How do they look offensively? Can't look inept.
Yeah, can they make things look easy at times against Western Michigan? And obviously Youngstown State's different. Youngstown State gave up 73 points to Pitt last year, 63 to South Dakota State. That should be a blowout. But the first 2...
But blowouts, you can still take something from a blowout, though, as well.
To a degree. I think the second game against Boston College, which I think a lot of people are sort of writing off as a likely win, and Boston College is not bad. They're a little, they got some playmakers on offense. They've got good coaching staff. They've got. I think that could be so. That's a game where what you want to see is up front them hold their own. Can they protect Aiden Childs? And is he? We hear all about the improvements he made and the better decisions, and all this stuff. And he's still got to be a playmaker. Is that noticeable? That's real quick. And then the wideouts, are they difference makers? And then defensively, I don't think it's going to be a dynamic pass rush, but collectively as a defense, is it a defense that can get to the quarterback timely? Is it a defense that doesn't have any clear holes, that doesn't get gashed? You sort of know it when you see it, and I think the Boston College game will be more telling. I think by the end of the 4th game, the USC game, we'll have a pretty good feel for this team.
Alex Mayer, scale of 1 to 10, how concerned should fans be about the place-kicking situation? Will it end up impacting the over-under?
I think until you see somebody make a field goal and make field goals consistently, make extra points consistently, I think it's a concern. I did just filed my season predictions column, which is why I was racing.
Well, why didn't you say so? That's an important column.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I didn't know what it was about. You said that. That's, damn, dude.
Had to be in for a print deadline. Anyway,
yeah.
But in that, one of the predictions was they had a pick 6 that would have tied the game, and they missed an extra point. So some of it's a little tongue-in-cheek, and some of
it's a bummer, your column? Is that what
it's
you're saying? Not
really. I think people enjoy it. No, I definitely, it's not a bummer for people. People, I think, if the season I predict in that column unfolds that way, people will leave the season, I think, feeling pretty good about things.
Now that's a tease.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Yeah.
Ken Chu, when was the last time MSU football didn't have Ohio State on the schedule?
2013, right, when they played them in the Big Ten championship game, because that was then they weren't on the schedule. I mean, that was when it was Leaders and Legends right at the end of that. But as soon as they were in the same division.
Oh God.
So really
Leaders, Legends.
Yeah. So as soon as this is the first time since 12 years since they weren't actually on the schedule, and they played them that year, obviously.
Leaders, Legends. Alex Mayer, Aiden Childs is plus 3,000. That's 30-1 to lead the Big Ten in passing yards. Worth a sprinkle?
I think so. If you find that number somewhere on the Firekeeper's iCasino and Sportsbook or anywhere, it's not.
If you've seen my golf bets, I can sprinkle on that.
Yeah.
No problem.
Because I do think Childs, first of all, the strength of MSU's team, right, is probably its wideouts. It's a defense that I don't think is going to shut people out. I think they're going to be in games against competitive teams where they've got to score points. I think a lot of that's going to be on Childs. I think they've got guys who can catch and runaways too. So if you find that number, I would urge people to jump on it. Obviously, I cover the team. I will not be jumping on it myself, but I would tell people that is a lot of value.
You want me to place that bet for you?
I would not. No,
blink
no,
twice.
No, thank you. No. Now I can't
bro.
blink. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was not a blink.
Scott, you. Rapid fire over under for both of you. Can revisit in December. Aiden Childs, passing yards. Over under 2,900. Want to just do these one by one?
Yeah.
Well, now if we're going to sprinkle on that, you got to go over, right? Because he's going to have to get to. Is he going to have to get to 3K?
Well, but it's still 30-1. There's value in that. Do you think he gets there? The question is, you're averaging about, and we're talking regular season here. We're not talking any bowl game or anything like that. So you're talking 12 games, and you got to stay healthy and all that jazz. Hold on, let me do some math here. 900 carry the 4. Yeah, I mean, that's tough. 2,900 is a big number. But that's 240 yards on average a game. That feels like a lot. I think it's going to be the strength of them. The real thing too is for that to happen, you need a few games where you hit the 300 number or you're on there, and you need not to be taken out too early in blowouts too. Like you play Youngstown State and it's over at halftime and the backup's in and you wound up with 104 yards. That stuff hurts. I think there's a chance he gets over there, but it's just until I see it, I would probably take the under.
All right.
Yep.
Aiden Childs, rushing yards, over under 400.
The thing is, in the NFL, you take the over. In college football, the sacks kind of against you.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd probably go under.
Nick Marsh, receiving yards, 900. Over under.
I think he'll have a big year. They have a lot of guys. 900.
Take the over.
Well, you take the over?
Childs, yeah. Again, if I'm sprinkling on the 30-1, though, I'm just saying, okay, Nick Marsh has to be involved in that if you believe that.
75 yards a game. Yeah, I'd go over on this. I would go over. Yep.
I mean, it depends on the number I'm getting, right? Amari Kelly, receiving yards, 700, over under.
I would probably go over on this, too, because I think those two are a real pairing, and I think Kelly is going to be – I think Kelly's the guy who's, from day one, the name keeps popping up, they're not hiding from it. They think he and Marsh are a real duo.
All right. Scott, how long until the Big Ten mandates scheduling that the SEC says must be in place by next season? 9 conference games and 1 non-conference against a Power 4 team, or does Indiana strong-arm them into an FCS-only non-conference?
Yeah, so I like what the SEC is doing. It's not like it took them too long to get here. But in other words, the SEC, you have to play one power conference foe in the non-conference, and they're going to 9 games. Like, it's everything that I've wanted other than the requirement of at least 5 road games. That's pretty good stuff, though. You're going to wind up with a lot. I think I like what the SEC is doing here. I hope the Big Ten gets there. I think the Big Ten should get there. And I think as Indiana continues to schedule Hillsdale and Albion and the Detroit YMCA, and embarrasses the league by doing so. And it's not that other people haven't embarrassed the league. If you play 8 home games ever, you're embarrassing yourself in the league. If you don't play a power conference team, you're embarrassing yourself in the league. But I'd like to see everybody get here. And I think if the SEC does something like this, the Big Ten should react. Now, the MSU does this every year. I've never covered MSU, I don't believe, when they haven't played a power, at least one non-conference power conference team. So MSU is already there. They already play 9 in the non-conference, but I think it would be smart to require that.
Scott, you next. Will we ever get the video footage of Jason's reaction to Sean Windsor's quote from Wednesday's show? Also, that has to become a drop on the show. Oh, sir, we got you.
That's the taint.
Yeah,
It's tough working on that one because he kind of mashed words together.
That's the taint.
Nah, he meant to say that's the taint, but it was like, that's the taint.
That's the taint.
You always turn the camera off during interviews until we miss those moments. You turn the camera off
That was one
yourself.
moment where one of the guests said fucking taint. The other ones are 15 minutes of me while you guys 69 and I'm trying to do other things or whatever, and I might pick my nose. I just figured if I'm off the camera, I mean, who wants to see me just sit there? I mean, yeah, for that interview, it would have been great to see my reaction because I was laughing my dick off. But, like,
yeah, there's no.
Sorry. I mean, I just figure if I take myself off, I guess I could leave myself. If you want to watch me.
What I wish we had was not that. What I wish we had was like a backup camera that was just recording things in case we wanted to go to it. You know what I mean? That would be awesome. Like, so in that rare circumstance,
okay,
a couple times a month that.
So we need a whole staff. You mean?
Yeah. We could do that. Would be great.
Sparty Barb Graham, I enjoyed your reading your interview with Jonathan Smith. If you could have a deep dive interview with one other member of his coaching staff, who would it be and why?
Oh, I think it's Courtney Hawkins. I mean, there are a few guys that I think would be good stories, and I probably would have to look deeper in the stories ahead of time to see if I'm just missing somebody who'd make a better story. But Hawkins, if you could get real. You know, he's a guy who's, obviously went to Michigan State, coached under Mel Tucker, and was part of that transition and has, lived multiple staffs and now here. If you could get him to really open up to you about everything he thinks about everything, I think that would be a great, great story. Now, that's hard to do, and guys are careful on that stuff. And but Courtney Hawkins, to me, has just the most experiences of anybody on that staff at MSU right now.
Peasy next. Graham, nice piece on Jonathan Smith.
Thank you.
How would you describe your sourcing with the new staff? You feel plugged in? Also, did you seriously think you were being insightful when you said a dead player is remembered more fondly than a player who leaves? You said that?
I didn't last show.
I was waiting for the bit to drop.
Well, it's like Diego Jota from Liverpool. He dies, Trent Alexander goes to to Real Madrid, and people hate him, and it's like you're just, if you want to be loved forever, it's really hard. You can't really ever get out. Even if your contract's up, you can't leave. You can't transfer. Trey Holloman, wants to do something else. He can't go. You can't. But if somebody dies, they're beloved. So that was my point. I don't know if it was insightful. It was not insightful. Very little of what I say.
And it's because they're young. I mean, it's kind of right.
Yeah,
you die young
sad.
like that.
It's sad
like
as
Jesus.
Hell. Yeah, no, I'm not. Yeah, it's not. It wasn't.
But if you live till you're like 75, become a Trumper, and everybody's like, fuck this guy, right?
I don't know.
Picking which one.
So the question was, how would I describe my sourcing with the new staff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's not like what it was with peak Dantonio. Certainly, it's something you continue to work on. You're always, with a new group, you're naked in some spots. They're a pretty tight group too, and we have access to them differently than we maybe have some other staffs. And so, I wouldn't say it. It's something you continue to work on as a, and it's not even in a way to like. You just want to make sure you're covered on things, right? You want to make sure, and you want to make sure you're informed. And it's not so everything is, this sort of breaking news and that. So when I come on here, I'm not dealing with the only conversations aren't like press conferences. You have a better sense of what's going on. And so, I'm certainly a better source than I was a year ago, and you just keep working on it.
That's the taint.
Witty username. Lately, it feels like there is an optimism around the football team. Why? The players haven't changed in spring practice. When the team needed the rich guys to be buying players, they were busy sticking their nose into the administration, getting the AD fired. MSU needs to fire its rich guys.
I don't know if that's
No, you can't fire rich guys.
Yeah.
Need more rich guys.
They need.
You meant to say hire more rich guys.
Yeah, it's
bring more rich guys in, right?
Well, what they really need to do is, have people marry rich guys. So like Larry Ellison, who's given, supposedly behind a lot of the money at University of Michigan, at least helping with NIL and other things, who didn't go there, right? But his wife's a big fan. Like, so that's what you
Did
do.
she go there?
Yeah, she must have. Yeah.
Okay.
So like that's what you need. Like you got to, because he's got more money. Like he's like 20 times Ishbia. You know, like Ishbia doesn't have. You know, he's like 20 times a lot of these guys, 40 times some of them.
We should tell Ishbia that. Like, dude, they got Ellison. He's like 20 of you, dude. I mean, I don't want to say anything.
I mean, if you
want to up your game,
if you're a, it could be man or woman, frankly. If you are a
way to cover your bases.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you are in like your mid-20s, your years where you're at your best looking and you're fit and you're really good looking and you are a giant MSU fan and you want to do your part for your life, what you really need to do is go cozy up to some very, very wealthy person who's looking for a spouse and make that happen. And then,
are you telling women to be gold diggers to try to get rich dudes to donate?
I'm telling men to be gold diggers to find women same way.
It doesn't work that way, though.
It could.
No. That means you have to find billionaire rich chicks. It's not like where are they at?
They're out there. Why won't they?
Well,
be
I know,
out there?
but I mean, they're like what? Martha Stewart? Like, where's the other ones?
What do you? Rhonda Stryker. I mean, Bill Johnson marries Rhonda Stryker. Rhonda Stryker.
I mean, I know who she is, but tell the audience who she is.
Stryker Medical, you know, like if you've been in a hospital bed, you've laid on a bed that was created by her family. And Bill Johnson was a superintendent or a principal or something like that and married. And like you can marry smart. And like with Ellison, he's a lot older. I mean, you can, if you know, you're a 28-year-old dude, you marry a 75-year-old woman, you can help MSU's NIL. That's all I'm saying. We might fix that.
Money bag. Jonathan Smith gave you a nice quote about being able to feel the arrogance of Michigan. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you think he gets it now?
I'm not talking about Michigan.
Yeah, he doesn't have the like. I was talking to Dantonio about this last week, and he just said, you know, what really helped him was he was there with Nick Saban and then Bobby Williams for years. Like 6 years where he was around it, and I don't think 1 year gets you there, but it was a pretty strong experience that they had. You know, I mean, you go down there, the game starts well, goes poorly, winds up with a scuffle. Like I think they felt about all of what you can feel in a 1 year deal there. I guess felt all of Fred Human. I would guess he's at a 6 or a 7. I mean, he probably has a pretty and then he's lived a
6
year.
6 or a 7. Well, how do we tweak his nipples and get this shit going? What do you mean?
How you just got to
like a 10?
You got to keep living it, man. That's all there is.
Really?
Yeah.
Do we have to show him a picture of like Harbaugh or something? Like what gets him going here?
You're fired up about it. Yeah. Get him angry.
Tell him about Bo and what happened with that. I mean, what 6 or 7? Money bag. Asking again now that we're a week out. If you've seen or heard anything that makes you think the pass rush could be serviceable this year.
Not really. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't predict that to be a strength. Do I think they are going to be pretty okay on the interior line? Yes. Do I think, and can that make a difference? Do I think they'll be good at linebacker? Yep. Do I think Joe Rossi's a good coordinator? Yep. So there are reasons to think they'll figure something out, schematically and with, maybe a decent push up front. But there's nobody on the edge that jumps at you and you go, okay, that's.
So bet the over when Michigan State plays after their non-conference schedule.
Yeah, I'm curious to see it because I don't know how coy they're being. Maybe there's somebody we didn't know Kenny Willekes before Kenny Willekes showed up. And all of a sudden, shout
out Kenny Willekes signing with the Steelers. I talked to him. Shout out Kenny.
You talked to him?
Yeah. I congratulated him. It's my attic, bro, dude. When I find out news, unfortunately, people have to send me news about Kenny getting that signing because Twitter blows. But yeah. Shout out Kenny. Money bag. How bad were my Monday takes to be snubbed from the show? Thought one of them was worth a mention.
We got to all of them Monday.
I wanted to read them. Graham said, money bag, we're cutting those.
Yeah. So not how it went down. If I missed them, I apologize. We did. I knew we were under it, so I was definitely condensing them, but I tried to get some of everybody.
Money bag, delete.
David Jackson, if MSU's quarterbacking is what we hope for, wouldn't that in and of itself mean that there's enough improvement to make 6-6 the floor? So if you believe in Childs, as I do, and will take a leap of faith that he'll be healthy, why not mortgage the house and take the over on total wins?
Well, first of all, I would never mortgage your own house. If you've got a family member, a mother, whatever it is, mortgage their house.
Uncle.
Somebody who could live with you if they really needed it, if you made a mistake.
Someone, if they're out of your life forever, doesn't matter.
Right. The better way to do it. But I do think the over 5.5 is a good play. The The challenge as I was going through the schedule today is there are a number of games. I don't want to could go either way, but what I mean is there are a number of teams that are, it's just hard to know how good they're going to be, and they're all projected to be like 7.5 win teams. So those are pretty good teams. Some of them on the road, and there are different spots where, like MSU has some teams in some good spots. They play Iowa. Iowa has just give me 1 second. Hold on, I want to pull this up here.
I am the passenger.
Absolutely. I mean, fucking everybody masturbates. Right. So when they play Iowa, Michigan State's playing Penn State the week before at home, and then it's at Iowa, and that doesn't look like a great spot. But Iowa plays at USC a week earlier. The week before that, hosts Oregon, and the 6 days after the Michigan State game, plays at Nebraska. So Iowa's in a real tough spot. Penn State, when they Penn State may just have too much talent, but Michigan State's played well against Penn State at home throughout the years. When Penn State comes to MSU is coming off a bye, and Penn State's coming off a game against Indiana a week earlier. And the week before that was at Ohio State, right? The very different place, So there are moments where you think, in UCLA, for example, UCLA has it, real nasty situation where it's a 9 a.m. start for them coming off a game against Penn State. So, like, Michigan State has some – I think the schedule sets up better for them than some of their opponents in terms of who they get and when and how. And so I do like the over for MSU, because I think they'll get to 6. I think they likely get to 6 or 7 if things play out as I think.
Next one from David with a bazooka to the head.
Bazooka time.
In 2028, will Skubal be in a Tiger uniform? If we all vowed to eat Little Caesars pizza every week during the entire term of Skubal's new contract and could sign a binding contract to do so, would that convince Ilitch to pay the man?
Yeah, you have to elaborate on all. Like, we all, like, who is all was the question.
Everybody.
Every
Tiger fan.
Then, yes, he should do it.
How binding is the contract, though?
Yeah. I mean, I would do it without.
I mean, you pretty much do it anyway.
Right. I mean,
I still eat Little Caesars pizza.
Yeah. It's not.
I did throw that thread out if we didn't re-sign Skubal. I mean, it's hard to deny those breadsticks. I mean,
so if you had to, like, bazooka to the head, 2028 is Skubal in a Tiger uniform?
No.
Yeah, same. I agree.
No.
I think it's very unlikely.
I'm preparing myself for it.
Correct. Incredibly pleasant surprise if it happens, but not thinking it's going to.
Bibby, at what point in MSU's recruiting do you call for concern in becoming Big Ten champion caliber again? This isn't Mark Dantonio's Big Ten anymore, with only Ohio State as a threat. I don't think anyone can envision Jonathan Smith winning 8 or 9 games with Childs, but once he leaves, winning 10+ feels like a stretch.
At what point does MSU's recruiting call for concern? What is their rank right? Like 32nd right now? Some of that's because they have 19 players. I think what we really have to watch, as much as the recruiting, and some of this goes hand in hand, is how they allocate rev share. Are they able to get above the rev share? Like, is this a school that eventually isn't just spending $15 million on football salaries, but is able to get to annually 25 and have some advantages? I think that's if they don't get there, if they're just playing with what everybody else is playing, and I think you can be savvy, you can be smart, you can make good decisions, but it is really hard to be a perennial contender if you've just got what everybody else in the Power Four and the Big Ten has. Like, so it is a different Big Ten, and I think the expectation should be, I thought Haller laid that out pretty well at one point where he said the expectation should be, top third of the Big Ten pretty annually. Like, that's where you want to be living, top 6. And because if you're doing that, you're going to be in the playoff hunt a lot. But, yeah, I think follow the money on this. Follow, right now, the way it is, their priority is a lot more in retention and paying transfers than it is going after big high school recruits financially. And maybe that mold can work for MSU, but I don't know that it can. I can't answer your questions. What I'm basically saying here, I have no idea. It's not a concern to me yet because it's early enough and all this is new enough. But if 3 years from now they're playing in a bucket in a sandbox that's with Purdue and a few other teams, and they're the top of the Big Ten has got an extra $10-12 million at its disposal every year for its roster, That's just not going to work.
Dean McConnell, how significant will the incoming freshman class be for MSU football this year?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I
don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there are a few names you'd hear once in a while, and does a guy like Jace Clarizio, actually become the guy or play a role? And it's just it's really hard to know. I do think one thing that'll be interesting, and Jonathan Smith talked about this week, is they want young guys who they think might play to see time early. And so if they do get thrown in and they do it, and that might mean even burning some red shirts in that sense. But so I'll be curious to see how they allot, freshmen who they think might have a chance to see the field. Do they actually get out there? There are some guys that, Derek Simmons is a guy that's name popped a lot on the defensive line throughout camp. So my guess is he'll play a role. Obviously I mentioned Clarizio was in that battle at receiver. They like Braylon Collier. And so those are guys that I think will see the field and have roles. But, to what degree, I don't know.
Chuck Fish next. Will MSU design the offensive scheme around the advantage they should have in the passing game?
They'll play. They'd be morons not to play to their advantages, to play to their strengths. I mean, they want to be a balanced offense. They want to be somewhat of a pro-style offense. They want to be able to run the football, and they need to. But they're difference makers, at least as we think right now, are those wideouts and potentially a quarterback.
JB next. This is for both of you. MSU football cheat code. If you could give the Spartans one cheat code to use this season, which would it be? A completely healthy roster all year. B, stops on every third down. C, your kicker never misses. Or D, Tucker's lawsuit magically disappears.
Oh, it's B by a mile. If you got to stop on every third down all season.
Yeah, we don't have enough time for all of that.
I mean, that's pretty much the answer, right?
Yeah, how many games are you losing? Not many. That's it.
I would want that. God damn, if I could get that for the Lions.
Yeah, holy smokes. You're winning the Super Bowl if the Lions do that, without question.
God. Who doesn't win a Super Bowl with that?
Yeah, nobody.
You get a stop on every single third down?
That's it. Right.
Spartan 18770. If MSU goes 6-6 with vast improvements in all groups, will that satisfy MSU's fan base?
You say vast improvements. If that improvement is obvious, I'll give you an example. I think the Michigan game is a game that there are no feel good even if you don't win. You got to win that game or people feel awful. And if they beat Michigan and go 6-6, and but against Penn State may be the best team in the country, maybe not. But if they go toe to toe with Penn State and they've already beaten Michigan, say, and they're already bowl eligible. Although if they're already bowl eligible, they would have 6 wins going into Maryland, who I think they'll beat. But if they go toe to toe with Penn State and lose a competitive game at Spartan Stadium, people might be disappointed in the moment, but they're not going to be upset.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Sorry. So, yeah, I think it's possible. I think more likely you'd have to get to 7 to make those two things coincide.
Spartan 18770. Who has a better year? MSU's O-line or the D-line?
I mean,
It's got to be O-line.
Yeah,
right? You said the D-line.
I mean, the interior D-line may be all right, but yeah, I think the O-line is it.
All right, Spartan. MSU football is getting a series. How about we get a day in the life of the social influencer Graham Couch on game day Saturday?
The MSU football is getting a YouTube series. I don't think you want that because the first
put a GoPro on you.
Yeah, the first 4 hours are me on a treadmill watching soccer.
Well, you don't have to start there.
Well, that's
not even at the
day.
stadium.
Oh, just when I get to the stadium.
Yeah, dude. We don't want to see you as soon as you get. I mean, actually, I'd watch that.
So rolling in an hour before kickoff.
I gotta say, check what I just said. Yeah, I'd watch all of that.
You'd watch the first part too?
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. How could he not?
I don't know.
I mean, you might have to fast forward here and there, but I mean,
a lot of fast forwarding.
I mean, it doesn't have to be every minute. I mean, we have to edit the thing together, but yeah, from start till you wake up till you get home. Couch doesn't want that.
All the swearing, all the moments all the crumbs on my shirt, all the I don't
people that came up to you during the game.
Well, I would enjoy that before the game.
I know, but I'm saying you're getting all that.
Me in the line for
how much is a GoPro? Can we slap one to you?
Me in the line for a melting moments and a 50-50 raffle ticket. I'll take one of those, please.
It'd be like a cop, and all of a sudden turns off at some point when you're doing nasty shit. Hammered 3 ice cream cookie sandwiches.
Oh, yeah, I had to turn it off.
Alan Perlstein, what's the over-under for kickoff temperature at Kinnick Stadium on November 22nd? Assume a big noon start.
If you get noon, the over-under, I mean, it gets warmer these days late. I would say
November?
38 degrees at noon, I would say maybe. 38 degrees November 22nd. I'd say that's the over-under, yeah.
Skeeter Barnes of Southern Maine next. Did you see Dave Portnoy's response to the Michigan fine? The NCAA is the one that should feel shame. Getting humiliated by a Michigan superfan. And note from Monday's take, Jolyn Zhu is a Michigan graduate and football superfan. At age 32, she married 80-year-old Larry Ellison,
there we go,
the world's second richest man. He chipped in on Underwood. University of Illinois has to be a little miffed. I see. So that's what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. No, I did some research after this on Monday because I was a little
on Jolyn Zhu?
Yeah, I just need to know
a little image search.
The image comes up, but it's a Google search.
Well, you want to see. I mean, she's 32. An 80-year-old rich guy married her. I'm intrigued.
Yeah. It's I didn't see Dave Portnoy's response. I sometimes watch his pizza reviews, but I don't watch a lot of other Portnoy.
You like those?
I love the pizza reviews. When I had COVID,
are you jealous?
Oh man, when I had COVID in the very first time, I really thought that pizza addiction was was a symptom, because I just, all I wanted, it wasn't even a question of like, maybe we should get pizza tonight. It was like, where are we getting pizza tonight? Like, that was like, it had to,
you actually put your foot down when you had COVID?
Yeah,
it was one of the side effects.
Well, to some degree, because I was stuck behind a glass in our den. I was the very first time. It was a big deal still, and but I watched a lot of pizza reviews, and that's what I really found out later is, I don't know if it was an addiction so much as I just watched a lot of pizza reviews when I was stuck in that little den, and so I think that seeped into the brain.
You were watching Portnoy's pizza reviews. That's crazy.
Yeah,
I never would have guessed that.
While I had like zero oxygen, it was great. Could have been the last thing I ever saw. That is a story worth telling. Presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing, which is an outstanding place for a meal any night. Even get takeout if you want. They sometimes bring food over to the studio here for us. It's absolutely fantastic. Their chef does a great job. Love their beers there, including the American Stout. Trivia on Tuesday nights. Theme trivia. Harry Potter coming up. Theme trivia on Thursday. Next Thursday, the 28th. You can call over to Midtown Brewing Company and reserve a table for that as well.
All right, Richard Kane, what do we think about schools selling press conference tickets to fans like Oklahoma? And how long until college football looks exactly like the WWE this year?
Yeah, I don't love that. You do see people in press boxes occasionally. Like, it's not great. It just takes away the professionalism of it. But, they're making money and it's a show, and you got to put up with it. I mean, it to some degree, I don't mind anything as long as you're able to do your job. Like, to me,
that's such a lie.
Well, that's true.
You look around that room and see.
I mean,
I was watching the Dan Campbell's press conference yesterday, and I saw the front row table there. You know what I mean?
Were they frustrated with people around, you mean?
No. I just, that there's those guys, the Lions pride guys, and there's just all of the blog Lions guys.
Yeah, but with the Michigan State guys, like, there are lots of people who aren't in this for the journalism. They're in this because they're a fan, right? They didn't just wind up.
But they would like to make money.
Correct.
Covering the team. I'm not saying that they don't do work.
And a lot of them work really hard to do a good job.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like they're unethical, and a lot of them take it very seriously and want to. I'm not miffing it. So that stuff doesn't bother me. If you had like straight fans in there, like you occasionally get at Michigan, you get some other places. It's why I like NCAA tournament games being so far away, because the fewer people, it allows you to do your job better. But otherwise, as long as you're not like
this started off, by the way,
as long as I can do my job, I don't care.
Yeah, sorry.
That's what this started off as, by the way. That was such a lie. John Johnson, what exactly is a show cause penalty?
It's basically another school has to explain why they want to hire you, right? And
to who?
And to the NCAA, if they're going to hire you while you have it. Now, and a lot of times that can have a secondary penalty attached if they do hire you. Like, I think Harbaugh would get another year suspension. They've had that with other guys. So that's basically what it is. It's you
really have to explain
show
anything
the cause. It's what it sounds
to the NCAA anymore, though.
Well,
we're hiring this guy. What are you going to do about it?
That's the
give
question.
One of those
That's the question. I mean, like if you're MSU right now, and you show up, this and you need a running back. You're not sure about your running backs, and you decide, you know what? Let's see what Le'Veon Bell can still do. What are they going to do? Pull you off the field? What's the NCAA going to do? They don't have a security arm.
Le'Veon anywhere near that fucking campus.
I'm just saying. Let's not be honest. Maybe a bad example. I'm just saying. Is there anything you can't do?
He's doing porn on OnlyFans. What the fuck?
Yeah, good point. Bad. Fix that post. I mean, I felt all of Fred Human.
Ryan Rockwell. Next, was the weekly Sunday paper subscription more than $5 a month in the glory days of print media? I'm about to just grab a print copy from Meyer each week since Graham doesn't want my $5 a month. Let's make a deal, Couch.
Well, what
can we do with $5 a month?
Get the Monday paper. Our Sunday deadlines are tough. That's what I would tell you. Things were cheaper generally, so $5 a month probably was. But no, it was more, and it was something everybody got, and it was a better world. It was a better time. Yeah.
Rockwell. Next, what does MSU owe towards CMU? Unless they're willing to come to East Lansing for free and provide a W to MSU, never schedule them again.
So, yeah, I mean, they don't owe anything to CMU. I just don't know if that relationship needs to be tarnished completely. But I get it. While Amy Folan's there, while the people who are there, for a little period of time, if there's repercussions, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, but just because you fire Amy Folan doesn't mean you're just off scot-free. I think they have to pay some sort of retribution or something.
So if they played a game for free in East Lansing, it'd be off the hook.
How about kick $100K this way and come get your ass beat? Good faith. Professor, is Windsor saying taint a top 5 show moment of all time?
That's the taint.
I don't know.
I mean,
not. With Couch, there's top 10 of Couch that would, the taint thing doesn't even eclipse some shit Couch has said. So I would disagree. It's fresh in people's brains.
Yeah. It's a good moment. And it was very fun. And then it was from Windsor, sort of out of nowhere, and that we all realized it.
And he corrected it.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. Professor, what is the best part of your first live college football game of the year?
The energy of it, man. Like, that's what doesn't get old ever, and a lot of it doesn't. I shouldn't say it, but that stuff is fun. I mean, that part of the job is tremendous. Like, you show up to a stadium, and and that's one of the things I like about road stadiums too. You just get different vibes, and it's cool. The energy, you got the band playing off, and you got this. It's like, even the other day, I was over at MSU football for interviews, and it was a move-in day, right? Where so the place is just alive. The band is practicing, like that sort of energy. But yeah, just to see a campus on a college football day is incredible. And then, I like a lot of parts of the job, and I'm reminded of that when you get up to and a big part of it is I like covering games and being at games and dissecting games and the emotions of them and talking to people after them, and you're reminded of that when you get to a first game of the year.
Professor, if it cost you the next 2 first-round picks and you could trade for either one, which would you choose? Micah Parsons or Trey Hendrickson? Oh my God, it's Micah Parsons, and it's not even close.
Yeah.
Hendrickson's up there in age, and he wants a fat contract. Micah Parsons
What's Parsons, like 26, 27?
I don't care. He's one of the best defensive players in the league, and a linebacker like that, I would kill for that dude.
And you would trade the next 2 first-round picks?
Fucking trade them all. I don't care. Yeah, if we could get Micah Parsons, yeah. Absolutely. Thomas, what's the best baseball experience you had visiting another ballpark beyond Detroit in terms of stadium, overall vibe, etc.?
You had a ballpark you've been to that you're like, man, this is awesome?
I mean, I went to a Padres game in forever ago.
Petco? Yeah, that's a great spot.
I mean, that was like 95. So, I mean.
Was that the old stadium? Was that before Petco?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I got to say, I really haven't been to an opposing baseball stadium. I mean, I went to Fenway.
Yeah.
Shit, I went to Fenway. Yeah. We went to, Fenway was pretty sick.
Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot about Fenway.
I've been to a few that I've liked that aren't even classics. Like the new Milwaukee Stadium, I had a great time with my wife where we just sat there talking to the point that we didn't realize that a no-hitter was being thrown into the 9th inning.
Oh, my God. How gross. What were you guys talking about?
It must have been good. I don't know. It must have been
so good you forgot. That's impossible. You need to ask your wife what the fuck you were talking about.
We only realized
to not pay attention to a no-hitter?
We only realized it because we're like, it was getting into the 9th inning. We're like, hey, should we beat the traffic? And I looked at the scoreboard and I was like,
oh my God,
they haven't
how
thrown
disgusting.
a hitter. Yeah. Well, I was once at a Cubs game at Wrigley, and the Cubs pitcher gives up a base hit in like the 7th inning, and the home crowd started applauding. I was like, why is everybody applauding their own guy? And I realized it was the first hit of the game.
Amateurs.
Yeah. So, but no,
cheering for a single.
Wrigley is probably overall the best, just because my wife for 3 years there a couple years before we were married, lived 3 blocks north of Wrigley, and I spent a lot of time there. And we would walk down and scalp tickets like in the 2nd inning, and this is right before they got great. Like this is like 2014, and the scalpers are getting nervous because it's 2nd inning, 3rd inning, so that you're going to get a good deal. And it was so much fun because, and usually you're going to come to an agreement, right? I want to go to the game. They need to sell the ticket. It's not going to be expensive, but they need a decent amount of money. But my wife was appalled by the ticket prices. She would just assume go to a bar or go back home and watch.
Because the prices at a bar are cheap.
Right. No, there were lots of. So she, but they could see it in her. They could see that they were going to lose the sale, and she was the greatest negotiator I've ever seen. We got unbelievable seats, like sometimes like $5, better than an LSJ subscription. To sit like right behind the third baseline, 2nd, 3rd inning of games. That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
By the way, how long were you married when you were talking through the no-hitter?
I don't believe.
Okay, so were you trying to? Yeah. Okay.
No, but we were dating
I'm
for a
so
while.
intrigued that what could be so enthralling with a conversation that you don't even know that there's a no-hitter going on.
Especially my wife, who doesn't even like listening to me. I mean, usually she just
exactly.
What the fuck? It's crazy. It must have been. I don't know what I would have to dial in and get that level of focus from her back again. That is a story we're telling, presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company and Downtown Lansing. If you're looking for a date night this weekend, Midtown Brewing Company, a great spot for it. You can watch a Tigers game, college football, but it's a bar with sports, but it is not a sports bar. So it's a great place to catch games, but it's not going to overwhelm you. It's also a great date night.
Gotham softball mom. Next, Tigers are going to lock up the AL Central. Skubal with 10 Ks. Gambling related.
They look like they're going to lock it up now. I mean, Cleveland might not even finish 2nd. Kansas City's sort of overtaken. Yeah. So, they've definitely, steadied themselves.
Thank God that division blows.
But if you look at it too, I mean, they're beating decent teams, and they're in a real race right now to be at least the 2nd team in the AL, which is huge. The idea that you don't have to play that first 3-game series is everything. It allows you to set up your pitching easily, and I think for this team, which has really good pitching but not great depth of pitching, like you can see where they have 2 or 3 quality relievers, right? You can see where they have one great starter and a couple guys that you're okay. So you want to be able to set that up perfectly, and not having to play that first series make a big difference.
David Cox next. Defense seems to get ignored when projecting MSU basketball. Jeremy Fears shuts down LeBraden Smith. Cohen Carr, also a great defender, will be the best player in the conference and an All-American. Kerr Tang is better than Lawyer, who is mid. Jackson Kohler, all Big 18. How on earth are the Spartans not a runaway favorite?
This is optimistic, David.
I got me hype.
Yeah. So, look, they have a chance to be up there, but you look at the talent of some of these other teams, like Michigan, for example. You can see why why when you're projecting a team, you would like them. And I think whether they have a guy and enough, and whether they need that guy, I don't know. But to replace, a couple years ago it was Tyson Walker. Then and they didn't win a ton with that. But then it's Chase Richardson. Do they have that sort of player who's a real difference maker? And maybe they have enough good, and that's plenty. I think they're going to be a good team. The question we'll have to find out is that are they going to be? And I think they're going to be a good team defensively. I think they're going to have a lot of things going, but are they going to be next level? And we're just not going to know that.
Travis Maynard next. There are grown men with families and 401ks still playing college ball. Why shouldn't Jackson Kohler petition for a 5th year next season? Will be down to just get Jesse at the 5, or will this be the year we're finally forced to target a top-tier 5 in the portal? Something has to give, yeah.
I think they should have redshirted Jackson Kohler that sophomore year.
Don't coach my team.
There's no way when you look at it when he came back and the games he played that they're going to be able to find another year for him unless something happens this year. Then that would certainly be there for him. Yeah, I mean, I think all that's to be determined. And obviously when you're recruiting out of the portal, and there's some young guys they're going after at the 5 right now too, or freshmen. And I think when you're recruiting in the portal, obviously that's something that happens later. And I think, what McCullough is for them, we'll see. And I think they'll have a better idea of, what they need. But as it stands right now, this is going to have to be a year where they go in there. Now, what they need, the level of play, the level of big man, depends on freshmen they may land and what Jesse is. But no question, if you look at it right now, they're going to have to go into the portal and get a guy.
Puppet next. Rank these Izzo what-ifs and is most likely to get him his second. 2020 NCAA tournament isn't canceled. Number 2, the Big Ten actually mattered for seeding, and MSU draws a 1 seed in 2016. And 3, Kalen Lucas doesn't get hurt in the 2010 NCAA tournament.
These are really good and hard to rank because if Michigan State doesn't get Middle Tennessee State in 2016, I really think that team had a shot. In 2020, there were a lot of teams that sort of claim it. MSU was playing really well. I thought what they were getting with Tillman, you could not, if you relied at all on a forward or center offensively to win, you were going to lose to Michigan State because Tillman had gotten to the point where he just shut you down. But I would go with 2010 just because we know how weak that Final Four was and the player that Kalen Lucas was. I think if he's healthy, they win that Final Four. I really do. I think number 1 is 2010. I would put number 2 in 2016 and number 3 in 2020.
Fart Soup on Wednesday, Couch mentioned that Izzo and the staff were getting good vibes from this team and that he's only been totally wrong once or twice. Which teams would you say Izzo totally misread?
Well, the team 2 years ago, I think it way early, that had that freshman class coming in that was, Booker, Carr, and all those guys, and then had Walker coming back. And I think he thought that group, I don't think he knew right then. They knew Booker was going to take some time, but they thought he'd be further along than he was. So I think early in the summer he misread that. But the best one of them, the one he continues to misread, is 2017-2018, which you could argue is his most talented team with Jaren Jackson and Miles Bridges and Cassius Winston and all those guys. And yet it's the one I never questioned was ever going to win a national title. Because even though they won 30 games, and I know the Michigan matchup was bad for them that year, but it wasn't just that. He did not manage that roster all that well. And unless he had I think he had a redo and was able to do things differently, but I'm not sure he would. Like, Miles Bridges should have been at the 4 more. The ball should have been in Cassius Winston's hands. Like, that was he just didn't get the most out of that group, and he still to this day reads that as like one of the teams that really probably should have won a national title. And who knows, if they don't play Syracuse, and Syracuse barely got to that game, they don't play Syracuse in that weird funky zone. And but I still think that team would have had a game along the way where it just was a little clunky. I mean, that's the way that whole season was.
Not talking about this.
No.
Fart Soup, if Jason could call the first play of the first game next week, what would the play be, and what would he name it? The mule tuck fade.
What's that
right
look
to
like?
Marsh. Well, let's see. You protect the ball. It's a play action play where you take the ball, you put it down by your mule because that way nobody can see where it is. Marsh, go deep. Little fade out. Boom.
Mule
tuck fade.
There we go.
On 3. Fart Soup. It disgusts me to ask a civilized question. So let's take this one for a spin. How does a Jim Comparoni come to exist? And why does Couch like to call on 3 writers punk-ass bitches? He also once said he'd sooner go unprotected at Hawaii Spa than sign up for a Spartans Illustrated 3 months at $25 promo. I thought it was a bit drastic, but he was definitely stoned cold sober when he said that.
Yeah, none of this happened, for the record.
Wait, Spartans Illustrated charges?
Yeah, well,
they charge for that?
They were with Rivals and now on 3. Yeah, that's like it's not. It's not like
by
charity.
The way, Comparoni's been around forever. Even back when I was working with Stout. Comparoni would fill in for Stout here and there. So
the phrase "punk ass bitches," until that moment, I have never used it.
Ever.
I don't think I've used
Liar.
it. No. I mean, I've used a lot of bad words, but
Trump supporters, you call them punk ass bitches.
I've used a lot of bad words about a lot of people, but I've never that sequence of 3 words. I don't think I've ever used, and so that tells you right now that Fart Soup is off.
That's no street cred for you then. Ethan Charbella, if next, which of the 4 new Big Ten hoops coaches will have the most success over their tenure? Medved, DeVries, McCollum, or Buzz Williams? Oh, that's right, Buzz Williams.
It's a really good question. I kind of like McCollum at Iowa is I like him as a coach a lot, and I think they're going to play a different style that wins. Ben McCollum, I'm talking. I think he's. I don't know. I have quite a bit of faith in him as a coach. I don't know if it's the most entertaining style, but that would be my pick.
What about Buzz? Are you excited to talk hoops with him?
Not really.
Going head to head? You don't like him?
I don't have any problem with him. I just don't have any great affinity for him either.
How about one more in a break? I need to tinkle.
All right.
Ethan, Charmella, have anyone in particular lined up to talk about Western next week?
Perfect timing. We do. The great Robin Hook, who's the play-by-play voice of Western. We often have on when they're playing Western. He's going to come on and join us next Wednesday and get a feel for the Broncos. And look, they've gone under a lot of – it sucks to be a mid-major right now. You just lose guys. Like they had a running back last year, and now he's at UCF. You know, like it's tough. And it's not like the old days where you could have NFL guys. Like you remember what's his name? Darius
Slay.
No, the guy who returned all those. Hold on, 1 second. Give
Devin Hester.
No, 1 second.
Greg Jennings.
Well, that's one. Oh, Darius Phillips. Darius Phillips, who played in the NFL and returned like 2 kicks against Michigan State in 2015 and was just unbelievable return man. That guy doesn't stay at Western anymore. You don't like that guy. Somebody else looks at him and goes, "We'll take that." And you just Greg Jennings, Tony Scheffler, all these guys. They just you don't get to keep those guys as veterans anymore. And so it's a different animal. But yeah, we'll have Robin on Wednesday to talk about it, and we will do more of your Groovy Donut Twitter questions after the break. Couch in the Rube, our Friday show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app.
Firekeepers Online Casino and Sportsbook is the site to play from your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss, plus the college and pro hoops are red hot and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117. Where else can you cheer on your team, enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi, sip on handcrafted cocktails, or one of 46 beers on tap? Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with one awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Ever wonder how comfortable you can be and how good you can look? Put on a Muskox flannel and find out. Muskox has new arrivals for this fall, including the Caper Green Grand Flannel, which even makes couch look good. Muskox is a Detroit-based flannel company that creates soft and durable flannels made to last a lifetime. They become a great partner with Couch in the Rube, not just because they make us look good and feel good, but because they're good people too, and a socially conscious company. For every $100 purchase, $10 is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation. Muskox flannels are designed with 100% cotton that is ethically sourced and double brushed for softness. Feel the quality and comfort of a Muskox flannel by ordering at GoMuskox.com, where Couch in the Rube listeners can enjoy $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code HOFF. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com. If you're looking for a relaxed vibe, great food, and an outstanding beer selection, Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing is your place. Enjoy their famed chicken and waffle fries, fish and chips, or any of their delicious burgers or salads. Midtown Brewing Company also offers 40-plus beers on tap, including ciders and seasonal offerings and daily happy hour specials. The spacious and cozy vibe makes Midtown Brewing Company a perfect place for a beer with a friend, a work lunch, or to watch the games on its big screen TVs. If you'd rather eat at home, Midtown Brewing Company offers a terrific carryout menu and free delivery on orders of $20 or more. Visit MidtownBrewingCompany.net or stop by 402 South Washington in downtown Lansing for the Midtown Brewing Company experience.
Find Couch in the Rube podcasts on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google Podcasts, CastBox, and the Rube's favorite, Podcast Addict.
Couch in the Rube, our Friday show presented by our friends at Firekeepers Casino and the Firekeepers Casino and Sportsbook app. Download the new app today. Give it a spin. I think you'll enjoy it. College football, pro football, soccer, U.S. Open tennis, whatever it is, it's there for you. All right, we're going to jump back in our Groovy Donut Twitter questions. As we do, I mentioned the pineapple upside down cake donut that I had that was unbelievable from Groovy Donuts. Next week, the PB&J donut, it's just incredible. It's got this ice topping, tangy raspberry jam. It's just, my goodness. I'm telling you right now, it has got these nuts on top. It is so good, so good. And so if you're thinking about a donut next week as you get into the college football season, Premier League, whatever it might be, groovydonuts.com. Place your order today or swing on by Thursday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m., Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing, and also in Williamston.
That's the taint.
Corey Ostrom, do you have a sense of who may get the start for MSU at the nickel spot and some of the guys vying for that spot? That seems to be the spot with the least publicity thus far in camp.
Yeah, there hasn't been a ton of talk, and I don't know if we have a I don't have a great idea. I think Armorian Smith might be a guy. It's really hard to say. The other day, Malcolm Bell's name popped up from, and that was something Nick Marsh talked about, sort of unprompted on him. Now, he was asked about guys who are tough covers, and we hadn't really heard that before. And so I could be a guy like that. But specifically, they have not been, they have not really given that. I'm curious to see who, because it is an important position for them. But there are a number of options. I would say Bell is sort of interesting. Smith would be one if I just had to guess at it right now.
Next one from Corey. Does Urban Meyer have it right? Should Roger Goodell suspend Harbaugh as he threatened to do Jim Tressel, but was ultimately done by the Colts? Is it right that we haven't heard the same rhetoric from Goodell, yet when Harbaugh's crimes were much more disgraceful?
No. He's in the NFL. He's not in college anymore. Whatever he did in the NCAA, that's a separate entity. I have my issues.
Urban Meyer.
I have my issues with Jim Harbaugh, but
I haven't heard it. But Urban Meyer has the balls, right, to say something like that Goodell should suspend Harbaugh.
Well, and he basically said that what happened, because this was on the field, this was an advantage that was clear, that was different than other kinds of cheating. Yeah, no, Urban Meyer's, a lot of people feel a lot of different ways about him too. To me, this is a separate league, this is a separate deal, and you've done what you can with him. He can't come back to college football essentially with a 10-year show cause.
Well, you have to explain to the NCAA why you're going to hire him.
I think he'd have to sit out a year or something like that too. I think he's got.
But you, NCAA. I'm going to hire him.
He's 61. He's 61. He's not coming back. But yeah, I don't. Look, it's a different job. It's a different entity. I don't think there should be anything done to him at the NFL level.
Neurotic Pants, will any of the sanctions at all affect Michigan's ability to win games? Otherwise, we might as well pass a proverbial crack pipe.
I don't think it'll affect them at all. And obviously, the money could be a factor to some degree, but it won't be for football. If football gets hit, it'll come out of,
But you can get away with it.
Men's gymnastics is going to struggle next year or something.
They have a men's gymnastics.
They do at Michigan, like a national
Holy
championship
shit.
level program.
They're good?
Yeah.
Damn. Neurotic Pants, do I understand this correctly? MSU football finished behind some MAC schools in some polls, so that's being reworded as MSU finishes last in the MAC according to these polls. 10 seconds of research would have told them that even MSU shit teams are capable of winning the MAC.
Yeah, I mean, polls are stupid this time of year, and there are teams that, good MAC teams that have beaten and could beat MSU throughout the years when they aren't very good. But there's somebody who's covered that league, by the way, when I lived in Kalamazoo. And the other thing is that league is also it's lost some of its top end talent, right? It just is what it is. That those players move up now. And so it's a league that there's really no excuse to lose to MAC schools if you're a Big Ten school anymore.
Neurotic Pants, is it true that MSU single-game hockey tickets will only be available the day of? Does this mean out-of-state fans will have to drive for hours in hopes that there are enough tickets left on game day?
Well, I think you'll be able to get the ticket like You don't have to drive up to the gate to get them. I don't think so.
It's 2025?
Yeah, I don't think you have to do that.
Fuck, dude.
So you can know there's a ticket there for you purchased. I don't know what's going on, but I know it's a hard ticket, and I think they do hold some back for game day, but I shouldn't speak out of term on that. It's just things have changed, and a lot of people got in with season tickets because some people did give up their tickets while things were really bad, and so they're benefiting from that to some degree. But it's a tough ticket, and it was once before, and it is again.
We should go back to that where you had to go up to the gate, right? You had to go to Warehouse Records, man. Get some concert tickets. Ralph E. next. I agree with you on the preseason watch list, but one caught my eye. I'm rooting for Amarian Smith. Hope he has a good season and all is well at home.
No doubt. That is guy's had a tough go, and that and the reason I think watch lists are dumb is because let the stories unfold. And guys can be added to watch lists, but it's not like only the people on the watch list have any chance to win it. You don't have to be on the Blitnikoff watch list to win the Blitnikoff if you're the best receiver. It's just kind of I don't know. It's a weird thing, and it's an unnecessary creation of content.
We're just dying for football to start, so we want any kind of list.
But some of them are absurd.
What do you mean? You read it and
you have two other receivers, but not Nick Marsh from MSU on the Blitnikoff
That is
list?
ridiculous.
Okay.
But I'll still check it out because I'm dying for football. Ralph E. So Xfinity sent me a survey, and they asked where I heard of them. I checked the box, and it gave me a chance to say where, so I typed in Couch in the Rube. Great segue, eh?
Appreciate you. Yeah. Now, if you're if you're gearing up for a college football season right now, and you want to make sure you got the ability to see every game you want to see, be it football, be it U.S. Open, be it whatever. Good
but this
time
has
to log
Couch
on
spelled
Xfinity.
wrong. I hope that this is your typo and not Ralph's, because that would be funny if he did say, "Oh, I heard it on Couach in the Rube."
Yeah,
that would be perfect for our show.
That would actually
he misspelled it.
That would make it more authentic. People would believe it. He must be a Couch in the Rube listener.
Yeah, I wish everybody would do that. Jay Brute, I tuned out a bit at the end last year, but remember quotes about guys not wanting to play. Can you give us a 90s show to be continued recap of last football season? Maybe just a recap of the 3 quick takes as last season progressed.
You remember how that was? Even an episode of Full House ended dramatically, and all of a sudden it was like you're off for 4 months. 5,
yeah. I was like 90s show.
Yeah.
I remember that 70s show. They did a 90s. That's right.
Cliffhangers of every sitcom.
It was the worst.
Yeah. If you want a recap of last year, it was a team that had a few intriguing players that had a moment against Iowa, and then was pretty banged up and didn't have enough in the Michigan game. Everything went to shit, and after that, it was not worth following. Does that cover it?
Yeah, it was great. Short and concise. Mr. Benjen, greetings from Zagreb, Croatia. What's the best thing that can happen to MSU in the game versus Western in week 1 besides saying win? And what's the worst thing that can happen versus the Broncos?
Yeah, they can just look
a loss.
Well, that
would be. They
can look dominant, and they can look and things can look smooth and click. And while that may not translate to Boston College or USC or Nebraska or whatever, but it can look good. That's the best thing that can happen. Is it looks promising, right? And then you got to wait to see if it really is anything to it. The worst thing that can happen beyond losing is just an injury that you go, whoa, that changed. You just don't want to talk that way. But we've seen it before. You remember the year that they lose Darius Snow and Xavier Henderson right off the bat, and it just changed that defense, and that really set them back. That's what you want to avoid that, where right away you're going to have some injuries throughout the year, and depth is supposed to cover that. But when they start in week 1, it's a crusher.
Benjen, which country have you been to that has had the worst drivers? My first Uber driver in Zagreb decided to take a shortcut, so we went the wrong way down a one-way street through downtown and then turned left on a red light.
That sounds pretty horrible.
That sounds like when I was in Vegas every single time.
That was you or your driver? Your Uber
the driver.
Yeah.
I mean, our Uber people in Vegas are fucking crazy.
My mom and dad used to go to China every summer. My mom was teaching over there during the summers, and they were in Harbin, which is in the north. Not that far from Russia and that area. But people drove cabs and other people. They would drive on the sidewalks to get around people. You'd just be dodging. I mean, it's amazing people stay alive. But really,
what year was that?
2008 through 2014. Not that long ago. It was it was quite a
Not as bad as Zagreb.
No.
Croatia. Brian Mahoney next. Graham tried to discount Coach Manny by saying in a donut voice,
He once said I had quick twitch.
Then clarified what Coach said was,
You had more quick twitch than I thought you did.
So he got one look at Graham and had a low opinion of his athleticism. That's about right.
He was impressed. I was in better shape. I was 33. It was sort of the end of my athletic prime. They were all a little impressed. You can ask any of them.
Was that pre-treadmill, though? I mean, I feel like you hammer the treadmill now more than you did.
Barely dating Elizabeth. Yeah, no, but I didn't need the treadmill. I was playing basketball 5 nights a week. I was running gassers on football fields. I was in great shape, yeah.
Jay Riemenschneider, which was more enjoyable for Michigan State fans, this past basketball season or 2021 football? Both beat good Michigan teams and both had good postseasons, and both came out of nowhere after some pretty lackluster years.
Yeah, I think it's 2021 football. I mean, this was a really cathartic basketball season. I needed one. People needed to see the program play at a higher level again, win a title again, sort of reclaim its place. No Izzo still had it. All that really important. I'm not saying it wasn't, but when you think back to 2021 football, and it didn't last, but what people thought was beginning at that point, what they thought they found in Mel Tucker, that whole experience after the coming out of COVID and the win over Michigan, like that 2021 football season was people were drunk on hope.
Yeah, we don't have enough time for all of that.
Oh, what could have been? Jay Riemenschneider, Michigan got a huge football recruit this week, and I happened to see a little video of the announcement. Are these just events to hype up the recruit, or are other things happening at these locations?
Was this like an announcement, the video you saw?
Was it a party?
Yeah, I mean, if it was just an
club?
Yeah, sometimes they just have these.
That Omar's?
Yeah, it's just like a press deal. I don't know what video you're talking about, but if it's a lot of times they announce where they're going, and then they're not done to hype the recruit. I mean, people.
Oh, I'm sure that happens before and after. Yeah.
Right. There's plenty of that. Yeah.
Next one from Jay. I'll be in Marquette next weekend. Will I see you there?
I will not be there. Got the MSU game, and then we'll be here. But I would happily send you some recommendations if you DM me. Like doing that with our listeners because Marquette is a place that is dear to me.
Just copy and paste.
And Baby Cakes, the building, the place, my favorite bakery up there is for sale, and I'm a little nervous. My wife and I looked into whether we could pull it off. We cannot.
Spartan Johnny. I'm honestly confused. If you guys want to up your hits on various socials, why don't you ever have, I don't know, Izzo, Jonathan Smith, Jay Batt, Adam Nightingale, Mel Tucker, Jeff Smoker, Max Bulla, Draymond, or Cleaves on the pod. Don't give me the conflict of interest BS with the Spartan speak.
Appreciate you, Johnny. It has nothing to do with Spartan speak. It has to do with the stories I write, right? And now some of it is...
Bulla would never come on.
Yes.
Smoker's not going to come on. And Draymond isn't.
And some of these people aren't that interesting.
Mel Tucker's not.
Cleaves we could have on, but would he be? We could have Cleaves. But
can you imagine if we had Mel Tucker on?
Incredible. But I would be fired if we had Mel Tucker on. The show would cease. Like, wait a sec, you got an interview with Mel Tucker on your show and you didn't write that column? Like, that would be...
Dude, let's get fired.
There's
no way you'd get fired. There's no way.
I would not get fired. I would get a pretty fierce reprimand.
Because then you could write a column about the conversation.
Yeah. No,
put a transcript in there.
We could absolutely probably at times make it more guest focused. That's not really the way we wanted to do the show. And maybe it's a mistake. But
if we have Jay Batt on, is it going to be? I guess it would be interesting.
It would be very interesting. All right, but again, to have Jay Batt on, I would have to do like at least a one-on-one with him that I did a column for the LSJ first.
So let's do it.
I not even talking
3:15.
Yeah,
call him up.
Yeah. So, but we could absolutely up our game in that. We don't need we're happy with our listenership, but we do want to improve it for you at all times.
And we're happy with our guest lineup.
Yes, that's
the
true.
Taint.
Yeah, what are the odds?
Have guys dropping taint.
What are the odds Izzo is going to use the word? Well, actually, he might accidentally. He wouldn't know what he was saying, but
he's a bull in a china closet.
Yeah, actually, Izzo probably would.
He'll just come on.
It's the American way, except America has gotten soft.
Fuck, dude. Tom Izzo rules. Spartan Johnny, why did you banish James Edwards from coming on consistently? Simply because he moved to NYC? Dude might not cover local anymore, but he's an intelligent Spartan fan and a friend of the pod. Quit being a wanker, Graham. Monthly check-ins with James is a good thing.
We'll have James on as the NBA season starts again. I like having James on.
We're dropping MFers?
I miss James. James is great. But yeah, he does cover the New York Knicks now. So I mean, But yeah, I love having James on because James is a massive MSU fan too, and he's also
but you spend the first 5 minutes like trying to get a compliment about your basketball game.
That's true.
So that's like the first 5 minutes.
But that's on me. That's because I suck.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So yeah, as long as we can just get past that, Graham's good at basketball. Okay, James, how's everything going?
Yeah.
Spartan Johnny, I don't get why fans and alums want to skip the Central Michigan football game. F that. I want to kick their ass. Why wouldn't we want to go play them and kick their ass? Jason, please cue the cheering noises you usually play after Harry says, Iguda wa baba Jerry Goff for full effect. Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
Iguna Yaba Gita Jared Goff.
We have applause? I didn't know I had applause.
Yeah, I've missed that. Yeah. He's got a stupid-looking face.
No. All right, Scott.
Yeah. To the question. You don't get why fans want to skip the Central Michigan game, and I understand. There are people who feel a lot of different ways. I've gotten many emails about this. Some people just don't care, but there are a lot of people who would like to keep playing Central and make it more personal, and so I get that emotion too.
Scotty Green. Okay, Couch. Scotty Green's El Camino. Okay, Couch, if you had to choose, who do you push down the stairs? Hondo, Stout, Ebling, or Paul Feinbaum?
Now, this is a hypothetical, and this is not something I desire to do. I just want to say that for the record.
Isn't Feinbaum gay? So it'd probably be him.
No, it would be Feinbaum, but it has nothing to do with gay. But it would be Feinbaum if I had to. Like if bazooka to the head, you have to push one of these people down the stairs, or the bazooka goes off. It would be Feinbaum.
Let's ask this.
Yeah.
Everybody survives.
Yes.
Like there's no major injuries.
Just
who would be the funniest out of those to watch them fall down the stairs? It's got to be Hondo. Especially if he's wearing that outfit with you and Rex Road. He was wearing that little farmer outfit or whatever.
Got the eye patch.
The Amish. Yeah, dude. I mean, come on. Hondo falling downstairs.
Yeah.
Stout would be sad. Ebling would be sad. Feinbaum would be kind of funny.
I go Feinbaum.
Scotty Green. Rube, who's weirder, Couch or Harbaugh? Oh, it's Couch by a mile.
Really?
It's not even close.
Wait a sec. What?
Yeah.
Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah, you're beyond weird, dude. Yeah. Jim Harbaugh is just a football geek nerd guy. He's just he's special. Harbaugh's special. Couch is just straight weird.
Okay. I don't mind.
You do shit that's just absolutely weird.
I don't think it's that weird. But I don't mind it.
I'm just answering the question. Tim. Couch's picks for season overs. MSU, Lions, and Denver. 3 teams he's a fan of. He's never dodging these. He's still a fan allegations. You make it tough.
Denver I haven't been a fan of.
Unfortunately, I can't bet on this, but I'm going to give you
26 years with the Broncos. But, I do look at that. It doesn't look – yeah.
Oh, Skylar Verdon. I was recently in Charlotte, and met some people who said that they got into soccer recently because of the Charlotte FC and chose Tottenham as their Premier League team to support. Would you have tried to talk them out of supporting Tottenham, or would you have simply wished them well?
Well, you can't choose. Like, fandom chooses you. Like, if you choose it, it's not real fandom. Like, how do you emotionally get attached to something you choose? I guess you do it with a spouse over time. But, like, it sort of chooses you, right? You feel a connection. You can't just choose without a connection. Like, you didn't simply go, I guess it's Therese. I guess, we'll do this. Whatever.
Yeah, she never kicked me out of her house. So I was like, all right.
You felt a connection.
I did. Well, yeah, after that, yeah.
So there's that,
Yeah.
I would, it's not a real fan. Yeah.
Max, next. Something that I noticed this week is that there is a lot more green and white in the campgrounds and beaches of northwestern Michigan. Any deep insights into why? Or possibly just embarrassment for the Michigan fan base?
I don't know. I've not. I haven't been up there this summer, so very much. I went up early in the summer, but that's interesting. Interesting observation. I don't know where to go with it.
The ones you don't skip are the best. Jebediah, long shot, late submission, but can Graham change his bit at the end of Spartan Speak from throwing fruit at us to throwing dildos at us? Dude, I got to listen to this Spartan. What do you guys have going on?
I
got to open.
It's a much more corporate
you have
show.
A bit.
There's no way.
Is that your bit at the end?
I just say, subscribe, we throw fruit, whatever you want to do. Yeah.
Every show?
A lot of shows.
I got you. All right. Hans Jurgen. Should Sweetwaters and Groovy Donuts have a gladiator-style fight to the death in Jennison Fieldhouse prior to the Western Michigan versus Michigan State game? Winner gets Graham's heart and a couple of dollar pull tabs.
My heart is with Groovy Donuts. Sweetwaters may have catered our wedding, but we didn't know about Groovy Donuts at the time. And Groovy Donuts Groovy Donuts has my heart. And for good reason. If you've ever had a Groovy Donut, you know why.
Your heart and your gut. Jake Hawkins. What do you think made Jonathan Smith not understand how intense the Michigan State game was last year? In my view, that's inexcusable considering he both played and coached in the Oregon State game, a.k.a. the Civil War.
every rivalry is different. And, I don't know all the dynamics inside of the Oregon State game. I'm sure there's some inferiority complex stuff that goes on there, but it has
to be personal, though.
Yeah, I think it's just
because you've been a part of another rivalry, you can't just come in and feel the same that you did against Oregon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
something has to happen to you to rub your ass.
And you may know rivalry, but you got to feel it too. And that's it.
Jake, thoughts on the possible expansion of Major League Baseball by adding 2 teams and causing a reshuffle of teams into 8 divisions with 4 teams in them, including combining traditional AL and NL teams. We got to get Manfred out of the commission.
You don't like the idea of these divisions change? Like if you had
expansion,
a division,
I don't. Listen, if you want to sit there and change, divisions, I don't know about that, but the expansion.
Yeah.
And I saw this, and I saw people saying like how that you have one of your teams playing in a minor league stadium right now.
Right,
the Oakland A's, and you want to sit there, and I just don't.
And you don't have enough pitching as it is in some ways. Yeah, I don't mind the division changes. I don't mind the idea of I'd love to have Toronto in the Tigers division. But the problem is it still gets tricky.
I don't want to get out of this division. It stinks. I love the Central.
And it still gets tricky. It's not like, people act like the travels. Detroit to Minnesota on a charter flight is not that bad.
Professional athletes, I do not want to hear about travel. Do not miss me with fucking travel. Even the college athletes now miss me with the travel.
So say you want to go with a division that would be a lot of fun for the Tigers in terms of rivalries, where you went Toronto, Cleveland, Detroit, the Cubs, White Sox, but then you can't have the Cubs have to have the Cardinals. And so like everything has its own tentacles and it gets it's tricky.
All right, Hawk. Quick take from Monday's show that you didn't have time to read. Got any stories from fellow Columbia College classmates interning at the Jerry Springer Show? In the Netflix documentary, Fights, Camera, Action, producers talked about the pressure to make good shows to keep ratings.
I don't remember any, but I know there were quite a few who had done it, and people had good experiences there. So I wish I remembered it offhand. It's been a long time, and I didn't have any I had sort of classmates, but not. I don't believe I had any real close friends who did it.
Next one from the Hawk. As far as costs to go to games or to watch them all at home with so many streaming services, do you guys think all that greed and price gouging is going to make future generations not like or even care about sports? I don't think that's going to do it. I mean, by the time they're old enough, it's going to,
Well, I think one concern is younger people don't watch games anymore, right? They watch YouTube clips and I think that is a concern. Like
that's insanity.
We used to watch highlights and games, and we loved it. And if you don't like watching games, I think it's hard to really be connected to the sport. So that's one area I would really work on, and that comes down to attention spans and all that stuff. And you got
to crush tape.
Well, you got to get young people watching movies instead of clips. You got to work on them. They don't. It doesn't happen on its own.
Next one, last one from the Hawk. If you could pick a character from either The Sopranos or The Wire to get caught while out at a concert with her secret lover, the way the tech CEO did recently at a Coldplay show, which characters would it be?
Well, McNulty would happen.
This is an all-timer from the Hawk, by the way.
McNulty would happen to The Wire. Like, he would absolutely get caught doing that. That would happen to him, right? I mean, that would be Gandolfini with one of his Russians, or something. I don't know. It's
Yeah. All right. Jerk guy. Who will be the Spartans' leading rusher?
Zero idea. And I don't even want to. I mean, I
don't know.
Frazier. Let's go Frazier.
Could go either way. Jerk guy. Who will be basketball's next commitment?
No idea. Sorry.
Upper Deck jerk guy. Will there be a Friday show next week?
No, the plan is a Thursday show because the game is on Friday and we want to have.
I really thought you were going to go no idea.
No idea.
Damn, dude.
I should have said no idea.
Upper Deck jerk guy. What are your thoughts on tribadism?
All right.
Tribadism.
Hold on. Let me.
Don't
be porn.
Be porn. Come on, porn. I've never heard of it, so it can't be porn.
Oh.
Jesus. Porn.
It's a form of sexual activity between a woman which genitals are. Okay, we're gonna.
Don't tease me like that. Finish it.
Nope.
Come on.
Nope. You can look
genitals?
it up. You can look it up. You can look it up. Sorry.
You CTs. Jerk guy. Which of these is the best name in college football? Is the K silent on this guy's name?
I don't know. I don't know. I would be careful.
Noah.
Yep, Noah. Yep.
Knigga.
Yep.
How do you say it?
Don't
King
know it.
Large. Nitro Tuggle. Dude Person. Rocky Beers or something else.
King Large is pretty good. Dude Person, though, is my favorite.
Does Noah's name make your palms sweat, though? Like if you were like ready to give a speech and you looked down and there was King Large, Nitro Tuggle, and Noah.
Yeah.
Knigga.
Well, I think my concern over that would be like if I was you're like the visiting broadcaster. He's at Eastern Michigan, right? You come in and all of a sudden you're just going through the sheets.
Because you have to ask, right? You'd have to go.
100% ask.
Is the case silent?
Yeah, 100%.
All right. We're done.
Yo, that's it. That's it. Yeah. Good show, guys. We appreciate all of you producing our show for us. Thanks, of course, to Groovy Donuts. Make Groovy Donuts part of your weekend. GroovyDonuts.com. Swing by either location, Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing, and also Williamston, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thursday through Sunday. We also appreciate our friends at Firekeepers and the Firekeepers iCasino and Sportsbook app. You'll enjoy the new app. Give it a try. And Midtown Brewing Company, great place for a date night this weekend to drink after work. I love the American Stout. If you like stout beer, it is my absolute favorite there. We will be back on Monday, and next week planning Monday, Wednesday, Thursday with the game on Friday. Good show, man.
Yeah, man.
Couch in the Roof.